we can.
Okay. So yeah, as you mentioned, Datasphere and SAC both are gonna be part of BDC in future. In fact, all the analytics which they are planning for. So in BDC, we have SAP Datasphere and SAC for our analytics purpose. And apart from that, there is another apps or inside apps also, which would perform, direct app which is available, and then they can start to use that based on their license. Okay. And the main thing is, before start our data sphere, eventually all our SAP systems may go with rise with SAP, because now the entire landscape has been changed ever since they started to introduce BTP. Okay. Now SAP is taking control everything under their hands. It is something like a cloud which they are managing everything as a subscription based. Earlier, maybe customer used to get from different vendors different tools, like it could be hardware or software. But now what SAP is planning everything to go with them, and most of the SAP existing products may be sunset by 2030. Something they might have given plan by 2027, but by 2030 they would like to see everything as a new fresh on BTP side. So either a fresh data sphere or all existing BW consultants may have to move eventually to the data sphere at some point of time, or they may have to move their existing BW models to data sphere. As long as customer specific support is going on, they're okay. But in terms of scalability and future roadmap, it is recommended to go with the data sphere for analytics perspective I'm talking about. So here we are purely going to cover only on Datasphere. Most of the time we will spend, and S4 HANA is one connection, and BW for HANA another connection I'm planning to show. But S4 HANA definitely we will see that as a source system, because most of our source system is going to be most of our clients source system is going to be S4 HANA or SAP ECC as a old system if they have someone. And flat file anyhow we will see that. Um, Apart from that, HANA cloud related also, I will try to show that. These are the three different source systems which I can assure you in terms of practical way. Okay?
I have just a quick question. So I was
Yes.
more interested on like from BW to bring like ADSOs legacy cubes and
Mhm.
everything to uh, data spheres. So
Mhm.
are we not going to cover in that front, or do we have anything?
Uh, as honestly, because as this is gonna be cloud subscription, we
Mhm.
should have BW bridge in
Okay.
place.
Hmm.
Again, we need to pay to get that tenant into our data sphere. If you in the trial version, if you have a look at that, we don't get data sphere. Oh, sorry, BW bridge. They
Yeah.
might show some screenshots and all from the DSO, from different things, from the Studio Wizard. They might have shown you how to create packages and then import into data sphere. But without having data bridge from the Discovery Center, as a in a regular words, I can say that add-on. Okay, I mean, I always use the simple words, if not the exact technical. I mean, exact technical also will use that, but to make ourselves understand as from the SAP legacy. Okay, without BW bridge, we can't do that as a practical.
Got it. Got it.
Earlier, when HANA came into picture, we used to connect S4 HANA and SAP ECC also using SLT or BODS. So we don't need to have any separate thing as add-on. But here what is happening, if we want to migrate existing BW objects into DataSphere, definitely we must have the BW bridge. So even
Yeah,
in the project world, what is going on currently, most of them are lift and shift projects are going on, instead migrating the existing BW, unless they are recently built on BW for HANA or something like that.
yeah, that's the scenario I was looking for, BW for HANA to Datasphere.
Yeah. So unless if that is a recent one and they already spent a decent amount and they doesn't want to spend again immediately such a high amount, because this is all cloud subscription based, right? Time to time renewal is costing. That is what dragging customers to move data sphere aggressively. But we don't know what plan they may come up with in future to give the encourage for the all existing BW systems. So if possible, I will try that, because there is a way to get that by paying. If I'm able to set up, I will show that, but I'm not straight away promising it to you, which I cannot do that.
Okay,
uh, Earlier, I mean, just in our on-prem, we might have created RFCs, then connected with any system. It can be SuccessFactors, it can be Oracle server, everything we might have connected in regular SAP BW system. But here that is not the way. Even there is a free trial version and a free tier version. They're showing that in free tier version only we will get most of the options for datasphere. Even in the free trial also we won't get most of them. That's what they restricted. And if you want to get the free tier access, it should be from the company side only, either from an organization side, or you should set up your own company. Then you can purchase with that name. You can purchase as a BTP account first, and from the BTP you can get all these DataSphere, SAC, S4HANA connections, everything. Since that is our launchpad kind of, I can say that. Okay.
okay, thank you.
Yeah. So lift and shift is going to happen most of the time, definitely, because BW for HANA also may not supported for few things in latest DataSphere. Uh, we will discuss them anyhow in future. Okay. So here we have majorly two areas we can concentrate as part of business cloud as a DataSphere and SAC. If you see that developers, database administrator, these are the source system side, which we don't have any, which we don't need to discuss anything about that. We will discuss more of data modeler, where we are doing modeling in the data sphere. Okay. So for a second, I'm stopping my screen and then I will reshare my screen again with another um, screen. So let me know if you are able to see my screen. I will increase this. Okay. So are you able to see the screen bigger? Should I do some enlarge? Yep.
Good enough.
Okay. Uh, Basically, DataSphere is a combination of existing DWC and DI, Data Intelligence and Data Warehouse Cloud. From the BW, they migrated to BW on HANA, then BW for HANA, and subsequently they came up with the Data Warehouse Cloud. That was a plan that point of time. And then parallelly, they opened Data Intelligence also. DWC, BW, DI. All of them more or less doing the same thing: ETL, modeling, and giving the views for the consumption purpose for the reporting point. So going forward, there will be only one thing which is BDC, and in that BDC we will have our data sphere. So like how we have in our BW LSA layered scalable architecture in the similar fashion, uh, because there is no standard LSA kind of as of now in data sphere, but we can create our own data modeling layer and business layer, which is the reporting layer. So they combined this data warehousing, warehouse cloud, and data intelligence capabilities, and they came up with the data sphere. Like how we have ABAP in our regular SAP systems. Going forward, we should have knowledge on the basic SQL definitely. It's not like our regular ABAP stack or Java stack full kind of system, as it is a web based completely. So we moved from dialog to studio, and now we are on the web. Everything is on the web today. Okay, and again I'm stopping my screen share, and I will come back with another slide. Hope you can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. See, pretty much everyone will show the same landscape. It is always better. These days, SAP Help Portal has been improved a lot compared to earlier. When we started with HANA and other things, also we don't have this much of detailed page, but now it is okay. Still, anyhow, our consulting is different, but at least SAP has came up with a decent, useful diagrams. Like we will have any of the source system, as you can see that, and then in BW we have created first a data source. Obviously, PSA will be created, then ADSO, then again on top of that multi-provider, sorry, composite provider. Or in a classical way, if you want to say that one has inbound layer or a staging layer, then data propagation layer or harmonization layer, then business reporting layer. So in the similar way, we can see that replication flows, local tables, transformations, and graphical views. These are the most objects which you are going to use in DataSphere. Here everything is views kind of only. Uh, Persistence is different anyhow. Here we have object store which will store all these metadata and the data related things. But as a objects, local tables, remote tables, replication flow, transformation flow. Within this, we will create the views, which is graphical view and SQL view. Like how we have in HANA, calculation view graphical based and script based. In the similar way, we have the SQL views and graphical views. This is all under data modeler. All these will be comes under data modeler. I mean data builder. Because we have two things there. One is business builder, second one is data builder. If you see that, we as developers data sphere side responsible for the data builder exclusively, because you know that SAP is making most of the tools as self sufficient. I mean, end users also would be able to play on their own from the front end side. Once this data flow is ready, either business analyst or business user, they can create directly their consumption models. It is something like creating their own dimensions and KPIs. But before that, model is ready as part of data builder. Like in SAC, how we create first data model, and thereafter we can start to create the stories or dashboards, anything that is. In the similar way, we will create as a data builder side, developer side, using data builder, replication flows, local table, and as a views, SQL view, graphical view, will create that.
A small question.
Please.
So there are no queries anymore. The VX queries.
Query means could it
So
be?
if you want to use the queries to extract the data into, let's say, third-party tools like Power BI,
Mhm.
so how are you going to
So,
do using Datasphere?
so from the Power BI, you would like to get the data into Datasphere. Is that correct?
Uh, no. So right now what we're doing is we are using Power BI as our main reporting tool,
Okay,
and we extract the data from BW using the queries into the Power BI.
correct. Bex queries.
Yeah, exactly. So
Mhm.
like going further, so how can we be able to do this with the Datasphere to get
Yes,
the
as
data
this,
into data
yeah,
from Datasphere into Power BI?
yeah. As I said, the views, consumption views, which we have been created, it could be analytical view,
Mhm.
or it could be our data flow. Sorry, SQL view or graphical, which we created as a final one. So we'll call them into our Power BI.
Ah, okay.
But again, as I said, it all licensing cost and all involved. But I have
Okay.
not. I worked on BW to Power BI, CDS views to Power
Mhm.
BI, OData to Power BI. But
Yeah. Yeah.
still, we haven't explored DataSphere to Power BI. But anyhow, it will be done because these days, no organization is depending on only one reporting tool.
Yes.
They are
True.
having multiple things from SAP. They are having from Microsoft. They are having from CRM, from multiple
Mhm.
vendors. They are having that. Since these APIs now is opened, earlier could be reluctant. Vendors were reluctant to open the APIs, but now there is no way. If they want to expand their business, they must have to do that. There is no other way,
Okay.
especially
Yeah.
when OData came into picture. So everyone are using that.
Mm.
And on the
Okay.
front end
Thank you.
side, yeah, on the front end side, all obviously for SAP, we'll go with the Analytics Cloud for the planning and regular analytical reports. And even if you observed recent updates with the Microsoft Excel add-in, we can connect our BW, DataSphere, SAC, any models as a front end side. And if you have any other specific custom build applications, they have to work with SAP to get that API or ODBC, JDBC, anything that is to expose the data. So here in catalog, everything will be stored. It is something like our metadata repository kind of. All our stats and everything will be here. This is not for us, for the most of the administrators, but for us being developers, we can search for that. What is the technical names, like how we can check in our BI content. In the similar way, we can check that. Something like. So we are going to perform the same thing more or less. As I said, flat file is okay, and S4 HANA is okay, and I will try to see that HANA Cloud Enterprise related any one as a source. These three I can promise, but BW I cannot do that right now. But in future, if I'm able to get that VW bridge into DataSphere, yeah, then I will do that. If I'm able to, if I'll get that set up, I mean to say. And again, I'm stopping my screen share. I will come back in a minute. Okay. So as part of curriculum, we'll see that data sphere architecture and with related to BTP, as I said, are all systems, SAP systems are going to maintain under BTP. And then we will see that navigation, explorer, space, it's not creation, it is edit, as I said. Uh, by the time our session starts, if I get a free tier setup, then we will see the space creation also. Okay. And then data builder and business builder, anyhow, that's our bread and butter. And source systems, different connections, what we required as a prerequisites like uh, cloud agent, DP, how we used to connect with the cloud connector and all, and the standard content which is available, and loading the data using CDS views, because as I said, most of the time it's gonna be in these days CDS views only. So we'll find the standard CDS view, then we'll create a copy CDS view of that, and then we'll create a replication flow into Datasphere by starting with the remote table or graphical view, anything that is with the different layers. And with other regular things, uh, with flat file and then local table, data flow, replication flow, and at what point of time, which object we are supposed to use based on the project demands and the product pro and cons using that. Like process chains, we have task chains here, and the explanation about how BDC is going to integrate every analytic applications going forward. And then, as I said, we must have SQL knowledge. Like it's not a must and kind of. I mean, like in BW, how you have a decent knowledge about ABAP. In a similar way, you should have SQL knowledge also, and some other transformation related, like currency conversion, lookups, and then using business uh, data builder, business builder, we can create analytical models for the front end consumption purpose to connect the same model with SAC. And anyhow, these are the common things for us like fact dimension, KPIs, models, and all star schema. And we will navigate through how BTP is managing our HANA, our data sphere, our SAC, the setup. Those things will be discussed. Apart from these topics, if you have any other expectations or if you have any other content to be shown precisely, even I will consider the same thing to discuss or to see that practicality in our system. So any questions or anything, I'm open.
Nothing as of now.
Okay. Uh, I will share another PPT which is useful for you to understand how this data sphere has been evolved and roadmap, and what are the different objects you need to focus on that. So I collected from different sources like from SAP, from LinkedIn, from partner sites, from SAP user groups and all. So that will be helpful for you to better for the better understanding.
Thank you.
Okay.
We also guide us through certification exam as well. There is one.
Uh, Regarding certification related, I will try to share you certification or SAP Pressbook.
Okay. Yeah.
So SAP Pressbook, I would be able to share that for BW, for HANA, for SAC, for DataSphere,
Mhm.
whatever you require. Those who will share that, and certification is up to you how you want to go with that.
Oh,
Because these days every organization is offering
mhm.
with the different attempts like 5 attempts, 6 attempts, whatever it is for different topics. Yeah, you can go with your organization. That's better.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So precisely if someone is having a basic data warehousing knowledge would be good here. The same thing will be there. It is just only thing is name and navigations has been changed. Nothing else. Data warehousing will remain same as it is on the built of star schema dimension key figures on the same ETL process. Only thing is in the cloud world how it's gonna be doing. That's
Mhm.
what we would like to see that.
Amazing. Thank you.
Yeah. So if anyone having any other questions we will discuss, but otherwise I'm done with my presentation and I will share as I said uh, another PPT with you that will give you more idea on what we are going to discuss and what you also need to have in order to get yourself into datasphere.
Okay. Thank you.
And one moment,
Yeah, I have question actually related to BDC and DataSphere.
please.
Yeah, so now is it like we have to first learn BDC and then learn DataSphere, or I mean I'm a bit confused on that how things will be in the future.
So yeah, let me share my screen again. So can you please repeat your question?
Yeah, actually, I keep on hearing that we will also have SAP BDC to learn, right? So how does this work together, or how will it be like?
Yeah.
Like SAP,
See,
how does this connected BDC and DataSphere both?
yeah. See, as a whole, that's a product BDC for us now. I'll
Okay,
make you understanding in older days if you are aware of SAP. Okay.
okay,
SAP ECC as entire system or SAP ERP is entire system. S4
right,
HANA is entire system. But we do have each SD, MM, FI, CO, PP, QM, different courses or different modules, right?
right.
In the similar way, that's what I try to say that um, BDC is the one which is managing all these analytical tools for us now. If you buy the BDC license,
Mm-hmm.
then what tools you need in that BDC? Do you need Datasphere? Do you need Databricks with Datasphere? Do you need SAC Datasphere Databricks SAC? Do you need BW combination? Something like that. So BDC is your entire product. It is not separately only BDC having separate thing. If you look at here
Mm,
also, you can see these are all the different applications, right?
right.
So in BDC, which tool you would like to subscribe for your business?
Okay.
Only for that tool you will learn. See, we have BW, we have SAC. It's up to us which one we should learn. Both of them are comes under SAP Analytics, basically. It doesn't mean without SAC you cannot get the job. It doesn't mean with only BW and SAC you'll get the job, right? Someone might be expert in SAC, someone might be expert in BW for HANA, someone in DataSphere. So it's a whole
Mhm.
product basically.
So everything comes under SAP Business Data Cloud, and
Correct.
SAC is tightly integrated for with all the four products. Can I say that?
Um, it's not like that. Those are all the additional add-ons. See, DataSphere doesn't have any reporting capability,
Okay.
right? Then you should have SAP SAC reporting tool, or at least
o-
AFO, analysis for office at least.
Okay.
Since Bexquery Designer is not that much comfortable now, right?
Right.
So something like that you should have them. So
Okay.
based on the customer existing landscape and future business models to cope up with, accordingly they need to choose that.
Okay.
Like traditional way, as you can see that from the different source systems, we are acquiring the data and then we are doing this. All this delta lake will come into picture since they connected with the Databricks, because Databricks is third party product for SAP, right? So as I said, they combined these two, data warehousing and data intelligence cloud technologies, into Datasphere.
Mhm.
And from every source, we can replicate the data into our Datasphere, and eventually everything will be on HANA Cloud only. And on the front end side, you can see any other analytical platform. It could be Azure platform, it could be Databricks platform, it could be Tableau, anything that could be. In Datasphere, we are going to work on our data modeler and business modeler side. So actually, before Business Data Cloud, you might have heard about Business Data Fabric also. And then they came up with a finished product finally as a Business Data Cloud. Before BDC released, as part of that, they mentioned we are going to come up with the Data Fabric. Because in Microsoft also they came up with the Data Fabric, right? So in a similar way, they also came up with the first Data Fabric, then they improvised, then they came up with the Data Cloud. Still, it's a part of this one only, but I'm just making ourselves to compare with other products in a simple way. So we need to choose on which cloud we want to go with. It could be Google Cloud Platform, or it could be Amazon Web Service.
Okay.
So these
Would
days,
there be any difference uh,
mhm,
when we use different cloud platforms? Let's say you're using Datasphere on top of Azure and you're using Datasphere on top of AWS.
mhm,
In terms of modeling for a modeler, would there be
mhm.
any differences, or
um,
or it's just a
there could
cloud
be
based?
differences, but I worked on Azure side. We connected our BW, sorry, models using OData to Azure side. Uh, they want to leverage the Delta Lake or Data Lake concepts, which we were lacking of in BW basically, because most of the time our BW has been on premise only, right?
Mhm.
Just from the BW for HANA only they are started to come up onto the cloud side.
Correct.
So definitely there is a modeling is there, and once we copied the data into our Delta Lakes or Data Lake, we can do further SQL warehouse also, because Databricks is capable of the SQL warehouse, right?
Yeah.
We can blend the data with other sources or something like that. Still, trust us ourselves with SAP. Datasphere is a lot to be matured. There are some unanswered and some limited features with the Datasphere. Like if you remember, almost 8, 9, 10 years back when they started with the SAC. It was not like a hit product kind of, because they
Yeah,
came up with
in back in 2017 when I started using SSC, even the
yeah,
save button was also not working properly.
even we don't have H3 maps,
Yeah,
even we don't have small hierarchical related issues there.
yeah.
If a distributor wants to have their local distributor channels and all, we were unable to do that properly as per the business expectation. But workarounds always would be there. So still a lot there to be matured. See what's happening. SAP is running parallel thing. They are not allowing time to consultant to gear up, and they are not allowing customers to yield the result of the existing investment. Hardly I can say that post Corona only most of BW for HANA projects has had been ramped up, most of the cases. And they said that parallelly data warehouse cloud data integrator. Now, not even at least a full-fledged 5 years had been completed, but again they came up with the BDC product, and they're saying that maybe it will stay here for a longer time. If someone has worked on BI7 or BW 3.4 something like that, those are the two products which had lasted for long years in BW side. Hopefully, BDC also could be such product now. It would stay here. Maybe they can come up with the add-ons only, like HANA Accelerator, BW Warehouse Accelerator, different things they tried out right in the old models. So in the similar way, uh, within BDC itself, they will start to give us multiple things.
I have a question around the master data, uh,
Please.
not in terms of curriculum.
Mhm.
So let's say in our traditional or BW for HANA system, we have the concept of info object where we activate in the master data. That's how we get it in the report, right? And
Correct.
in S4, if you talk about the operational report, we use annotations where we define the master data and then finally propagate to the final reporting. So when it comes to data sphere, how the master, let's say our source system is S4 and we are doing reporting on top of data warehousing as data sphere.
Mhm.
So the master data, something we activate, or I mean, I don't know how the field level concepts works there. I wanted to understand the master data, how
Yeah,
it is
correct.
created.
So as we discussed, data builder and business builder. Data
Mhm.
builder is responsible for the data integration, data staging, whatever it is, data modeling and all.
Mhm.
So there itself, we can say that it's a kind of RDBMS. See,
Okay,
our HANA database itself is a RDMS, RDB, right?
correct.
And then we came up with the RT graphs as attribute view, analytical view, calculation view. In the similar way, business builder, we will have the analytical models where we can define this dimension, fact, uh, a core entity relations kind of joins, star schema kind of. That's how we can decide. I can say that business builder is your analytical model. Artifacts can be created.
Okay, so then in that case, you are saying the master data
Mm.
annotations and everything should happen at view level in CDS view itself in S4.
Yeah, we can do that because always SAP is suggesting that not only SAP, the best practice is do calculations are blending at the most everything at the source level, right? So as I said earlier, we can copy the existing CDS views and we can create our or enhance the existing CDS views. Enhance means I used to copy the same annotation and create a Z CDS view and custom CDS view. There I will add up them.
No,
Or
no, my
else,
question is around, let's say you have ABC new field you're introducing
mm-hmm,
in your S4 system.
mm-hmm,
Okay. So
mm-hmm,
where do we get let's say that's a dimension, ABC. So
mm-hmm.
where do you introduce the master data for that ABC field? Is it in S4? Is it in BD? Is it in Datasphere?
Um, in Datasphere, at the analytical model level, I can introduce that. Till
Okay.
that, it's a field for me. Till that level, it's a field.
Okay.
Like if you have
So
idea in calculation.
do we still have concept of attributes or
Yes,
restricted attributes?
that's what I'm
Okay.
trying to say. Correct.
Okay.
And if our license is having Databricks, also SAP with Databricks, this is how your screen will be shown. As part of BDC, they are saying that Databricks also is there, right? That's the reason I'm showing it. Normal Databricks doesn't have SAP logo, but if we have SAP logo along with Databricks, then only this Delta Lake concept they might start to work on that. And with the different SQL warehouses or data blending, they can start to work on that.
This is third party tool or
Uh,
it's
but SAP has got tie up with them now, the
oh okay.
Databricks. They want to promote that. Whatever they had, lack of things, everything. Now they want to fill up that with by collaborating with
Mhm.
other products. Now they doesn't want to sit just idle by showing only complementary products, because VW had been most of the time complementary product only to SAP. But now they are using the other third party things also with the collaboration to grab the market. So it's up to business to which thing they want to go with, Google Cloud, Azure, or anything. You might have seen most of the time this picture everywhere, lift and shift projects. I think this is if you want to directly migrate or how to migrate, what are the best possible ways you can find that. So as I said, most of things are going to be lift and shift. That's what we've been seeing that. Because again, spending money on BW Bridge just for the historical data only, right?
Mhm.
So if S4 is having the historical data, then we can go with the serious view. But if we have some more historical legacy in BW itself, then we have to find the way to get this done here for the cutoff thing. Like info area, space is the main thing for us here. Everything is going to manage under spaces. Like if we create in our info areas, like for FI, one info area, or maybe project wise, whatever it is, only respective persons will get access to that space. Everyone will not get. And even space creation is not in our developer hands most of the time, unless you are some architect or some senior person. It will be created and shared with us by BTP team, which is basis team normally in SAP side. And then data builder, business builder. This has been what we've been talking about. So at the business builder, we'll come up with the which is dimension, which is fact models. All the ETL activities will be performed at the data builder level. So anyhow, once we are in the system, we will see that what are the different ways to replicate data into our SAP Datasphere. So these are the major topics which we must learn. Uh, Remote table, local table, then replication flow, transformation flow, data flow. Different objects are having different capabilities with the delta and the staging and the consumption and for the ETL capabilities. So accordingly, we need to choose which object we should use at what point. Earlier, it was very easy straight away. Inbound layer, open ODS view, or standard DSO, or we can use rate optimized DSO. Second layer as a DSO, then cube, then multi-provider, something like that. But here, based on the source system, also we need to choose which object will be supported. Few from the source system, few from the delta process, few for the replication process related limitations. And it's been keep updating. uh, it may not be same thing every day, eventually they will overcome all the limitations in future course of time. So most of the things which I understand from the different sources, data flow will be for the ETL and harmonization purpose. Replication flow is the real time purpose. Transformation flow is the business rules purpose. And as I said, layered modeling approach. As of now, there is nothing any name like LSA, LSA plus plus. But as we discussed, as inbound layer, we can use tables like remote table or local tables. Then replication flows or data flows. And then as a organization layer, we can create views, graphical view or SQL view to combine different sources things. Then again, SQL view itself, I mean graphical SQL view only in the both layers. And finally, analytical models. Another business builder we can create that for the consumption purpose. So in our projects, most of the time we are going to spend time on replication flow, graphical view or SQL view most of the time, because only once we get the staging, once data is staged, then we can start to play like how we use that routines at the transformation levels. We can use the same kind of SQL related syntaxes or HTML, those provided syntaxes to filter the data, input parameter, whatever it is, we can use that. So again, this is same kind of repetition which we already discussed. What to choose, when to choose, what kind of, and purpose of each different objects like remote tables, and then how to update them. So everything has to be deployed here. And then graphical views or SQL views, how we can create them, what is the exact purpose. And if you want to create a few calculated columns, like in not in the analytical view, in the calculation view only, we used to create the calculated columns or more formula, something like that. Even here also it is a similar way. So this is just you might have already experienced in your free trial, but just in a order wise, I just kept it, nothing new. If you want to use joins, filter the data, and then finally our views are going to consume in the analytical model. Like someone had asked, what is the usage? Like where we can decide would it be only master data or transaction data, fact, something like that. So in while designing this SQL view, even graphical view also we have options, but one of the option here you can see that. So as someone asked me, should we learn BDC? So as I said, it's as a whole product. Then you need to choose what product you would like to use that. So here in our case, for example, Datasphere or SAC, we are going to use that. Okay. Any questions?
I had another question. Uh,
Please.
like as you know, previously we had the HANA systems and we had HANA views and all of that. So in that, in the HANA views, how do you inherit those HANA? Reuse those HANA views, or do we have to create HANA views similar to that in Datasphere?
So like you already using HANA calculation view and you want to
Yeah.
import
Yes.
that, or should we need to create the new SQL view? That's what your question, right?
Right.
To be honestly, I haven't seen anything as directly to import, and I believe there
Okay.
is a capability like a HDI or SDI,
I see.
like smart
Okay.
data integrator or smart data access is there, right?
Okay. So
So
we
that's
can reuse those HANA views,
possibly, but I haven't practically seen that, to be
but
honest.
eventually we have to shift everything to Datasphere, right?
Correct. So in that case, we can create the connection for that. Anyhow, HANA is on the cloud. If it is on the cloud side, then we can get that cloud connector, and then schema access will be there. Under that schema, what are the models or tables? We can access them here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm,
Clear?
yeah, and also the bridge connectors and all those will also be covered, right, in this course?
HANA bridge. That's sorry, BW bridge. That's what I said. That if I
Mm-hmm.
if I'm able to set up that with my helping team, I will show that. But otherwise, I cannot show that. The same thing.
Okay.
I also may share the same blogs which you might have already come across. But as a
Okay.
practically, there is a limitation for me to show in the system side. But
Okay.
uh, it's becoming cost to add two systems for Datasphere tenant, S4 and BW. So I'm just
Mm.
bargaining that if that's happened, yeah, possibly we may see both. But I'm not promising. But as for HANA, yeah, I can promise that
Okay. Fine.
because that's gonna be our most of the sources. That's the reason.
Okay. And would you be also providing a system to practice for Datasphere?
No, that's up to you how you can create your free trial access and all. But I will show that how to create. But
Okay.
maybe
Okay.
Giridhar will comment on that.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's it from my end. I will share the same information with you for your knowledge
Okay.
purpose, and then Girdhar will be in touch with you to for further communication. Anything you would like to learn or add to content.
Okay. Fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it from my end. Okay then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bye.
very much.
Thanks, team. Yeah. Bye.
Oh,
Bye.